welcome back to my channel. I hate long intros, so we're going to get right into it. So this video was very exciting for me. I was asked to make a 12-inch meatball sub sandwich plushie as a gag gift, and if you've been around for a while, you know that this is 100% something that I love. I love doing silly gifts. It is my favorite thing ever. So for any good sandwich, the starting point is going to be your bread, whether the bread is actual bread or not. Any good sandwich has to have a base or a foundation. So I'm going to start off by making the 12-inch long bread. I'm going to do it in two parts because that seemed to be the least complicated way to make a sub sandwich, I guess. I don't know. None of this project was like a big, long, thought out plan. I was given a challenge and I just said, yes, I want to do this. Okay, I'm going. I'm going to go do the thing. And I was just winging it, honestly, like, how I do pretty much everything. So, making the bread, measurements are weird. You think you know about how long, like 3, 6, 10, 12, whatever inches are, but then when you're crocheting it and it's going one stitch after another, oh man, it feels like that 12 inches goes on forever. Don't get me wrong, I am not complaining. Every part of this project was so much fun, but it was like that TikTok trend, the let's skip to the good part. Putting this thing together was the most magical part of the whole thing. I feel like I had a bunch of random pieces just sitting around, and stacking them together was one thing, but it was all done. Oh, it was absolutely magical. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself here. The sub sandwich that I was supposed to be making was from Firehouse Subs, but I don't have a Firehouse Subs anywhere near me. But my sister does live near one and mentions them a lot. She says their sandwiches are good. So I messaged her and asked her if she had a photo, and she did. So, sister to the rescue on that one. Before my sister got back to me, though, I thought that it maybe kind of looked like a regular meatball sub from another sub sandwich place. And it sort of does. I mean, the concept isn't super complicated. You have your hoagie sub or hero sandwich bun. I know, sandwiches have silly names. I actually didn't know that there was a term for a sub sandwich called a hero sandwich, but there is. Wow, I have said the word sandwich so many times now it doesn't even sound like a word anymore. I'm sorry. So, what was I saying? Oh, right. So you have your sub bun, and then for your meatball sub, you basically have your saucy meatballs, cheese, and then whatever else toppings that you would get. I don't particularly like meatball subs myself, so I am not really sure what you get on them. My dad and my brother liked the meatball subs, and I can't remember what either of them got on theirs, except that my dad got peppers, and my brother wanted to just load it up with Parmesan. I mean, you can never have enough cheese, right? So at this point, I'm still making one of the bread halves. It did feel like it was taking a really, really long time while I was crocheting it, but really the project didn't take all that long to do. I think the longest part was waiting for the sauce to dry on the meatballs. The plan for the bread was once it was all done, I was going to sort of sew it together in the middle at a sort of angle, I guess, so it would stay propped open like a sub bun does, but also so it sort of supported itself and had enough room in the middle for the meatballs and the cheese. So once the bread was done and it was holding its shape, it was time for the real star of the show, which was the meatballs. I know it's a plushie and also a gag gift, but I really did want it to look somewhat like a real sandwich and not a super cartoony or cutesy sandwich like my normal style is. I did want this to kind of look realistic, at least a little bit. I made each meatball on its own. I wasn't exactly sure how big to make them, so I just made them in the size that I think that they should be. They're probably a bit smaller in real life, but this is a forever sandwich, so you get the aesthetically pleasing size and not the cost effective size that corporate tells you that you can have. So I think this one's better. I had to add some fabric paint for the sauce. The drying time was the worst. I swear, every time I do anything with paint, any type of paint, I stare at it and just go, "Are you done? Are you dry yet? Oh, you're not? Well, okay." And then I have to sit and wait very impatiently. It's absolutely awful, especially when you've been bitten by the creative bug. You just have to wait. Like I've said in previous videos, the weather affects dry times with paint, and it's the worst on hot, humid days in the summer and super cold days in the winter. It's a little frustrating because some projects you just can't always plan around the weather. You have to kind of do your best to keep your projects in the best area with the least humidity and the least extreme temperatures. I was able to comfortably fit 6 meatballs on this sub sandwich. I don't know how many you're supposed to get on a meatball sub, but I'm not sure that it really matters. I would call these meatballs keychain size. I have made tinier meatballs once before for keychains, but I think I like these better. I think they're cute. So once the meatballs were all painted and drying, I got to work on the cheese. From the photo that I saw from Firehouse Subs, the cheese is kind of laid out on top and it's melty and it does look really good. But this is a gag gift and probably more like a display piece, so I decided to put the cheese on the sides so the meatballs were still the focal point, but not so much that they blended into the background. I still wanted them to like definitely be there, but not be the main star of the show. I ended up making 6 half slices for this meatball sub. I sort of layered them over each other a little bit. I wasn't totally sure when I was making it, but I do really like how it looks now. Also, I had a little mishap with my camera and I ran out of space, so you only get to see that little bit. I didn't notice when I was making it, so that was an oopsie on my part. I'm sorry. So once everything was made, the final part was putting all of it together and giving it the last little touches. I do not use hot glue for crochet work. I just don't think that it holds up. So I sewed all of this together. It was a little difficult in some parts because it was just a really awkward angle, but it wasn't too bad. My camera did die halfway through, and I didn't think watching me struggle to sew things on would be fun to watch, so you only get the first part. I sewed the cheese on first, and then I sewed the meatballs on after. It wasn't too bad once my way too long sewing tail got to be a little bit smaller, but you know me, I always have an extra long sewing tail. After it was sewed together, I did go back and add some chalk pastels. If you are doing this for a personal project, you can use eyeshadow, blush, or other powder makeup for this part, but I do have a set of chalk pastels that I used for this. I used paintbrush to sort of brush it on, and I totally forgot to film this part. Um, I don't know why. I guess I didn't think it was important. So you'll just have to take my word for it. It wasn't super hard. It just took a while to build up the colors a little bit for the toasty effect on the bread. Once it was all put together, that's when the yeah, I kind of know what I'm doing went to wow, I can't believe I made this moment. I'm really, really proud of this piece. Seeing it all come together and the person who commissioned it telling me that it was absolutely amazing and exactly what they'd hoped for, that's kind of why I do this. It's weird, it's fun, it's unexpected, and projects like this make me laugh. And I really enjoyed making this project. Now that we're at the end of the video, I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked watching me make this footlong meatball sub. I definitely had so much fun making it. Don't forget to like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you'd like to see more, hit the bell button to be notified when I upload next, and thank you again so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!